What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? It's your boy Domuto. We're back with another video today. We are watching Smugstick. Oh my god, I'm sorry. Smugstick. What if Bardock took Goku and Vegeta to Earth? Part 9, and look like we're gonna watch part 10 as well, because part 10 looks kinda short. So yeah, I think this is the finale, so we're gonna finish that up and start the next story. So let me know what you want me to react to next. You know what I'm saying? And let's get into it.
Smugstick. The evil saiyans, with Goku and Vegeta training hard out of Beerus' planet alongside Whis, when suddenly Beerus gets called up by Zeno.
Oh shit.
Goku, Vegeta, and Raditz continue training, while Whis and Beerus go to see what's up. The Lord above all reveals that he is now ready to begin a so-called tournament of power. Beerus thinks this could be interesting, and a cool way to see just how far his students have evolved. But his enthusiasm fades once he learns that the losers of the tournament and their respective universes will get erased from existence. They have very little time to gather fighters, and Beerus panics. When he returns to his planet, he immediately tells Goku and the others what was going on. But Goku reassures them, they'll be okay. They'll be able to win, no sweat. Thus, Raditz, Vegeta, and Goku go around finding candidates for the upcoming tournament. They'll need 10 warriors for Universe 7's team. When Goku approaches his family at Bardock's dojo with news about the tournament, they are eager to step up to the challenge and defend the universe. Goku isn't sure if it's a good idea to tell everyone about the consequences if they lose, but Bardock tells him that this is going to be the biggest motivator. Time and time again, when Earth was threatened with sure destruction, that's when the true heroes stepped up to the challenge. Goku is convinced, and he challenges his parents and Android 16 to a 3v1 match to determine just how strong they are.
Okay.
And sure enough, Goku is astounded with their strength, especially 16 and his mother. He knew how strong Bardock was, but the other two had improved immensely. As a reminder, Android 16 in this story isn't fully mechanical, but instead a cyborg similar to Androids 17 and 18. He is capable of growing his power naturally through hard work and training.
That's cool.
After training intensely with the guidance of Bardock for many years, 16 has become much more powerful and capable of even pushing Goku to his max. Gine herself was also very strong, impressing Goku with her Super Saiyan Rage-like state. He never did have time to see it much for himself, but he sees that it has pushed her to powers similar to future Trunks's. Gine reveals that the recent battles against Zamasu, along with her transformation, reawakened her fighting spirit. She has been training with Bardock daily ever since, in the gravity chamber at Capsule Corp.
Okay.
She still wasn't the biggest fan of it, but she realized that what she didn't like about being part of Bardock's squad was taking over planets. Defending her world? That could be cool. Goku realizes that this was why Bardock never went to Beerus' planet. He was happy training his wife. They are happier and closer than ever as the couple blushes. Gine wonders who else her son's going to get, and Bardock realizes something. This is the perfect chance to bring some friends over. Bardock had always had a close eye on Android 17, and after the Cell Games, he became one of his first students. At first, Goku wanted Piccolo, Vegeta, and Android 16 to join. However, they all refused. Android 16 wanted to protect Earth during the tournament, just in case any harm would befall it, while the planet's defenders were gone. As for Piccolo and Vegeta, they were protectors of the Brief's family, and the husband of Bulma respectively. They refused to leave Bulma's side while she was pregnant. Vegeta was especially reluctant to join,
Vegeta,
as he wanted
bring
to
your
be
bitch ass
present
on.
for his daughter's birth, but thanks to Whis, she was brought into the world without any issues. This changes Vegeta's mind, but Piccolo still turns down the tournament. He would guard the Brief's family no matter what, and he wanted to take care of Bulma while Vegeta was gone. This Piccolo is much different than the one we know in canon, of course, and has been pretty much raised by Capsule Corp ever since he was born, so he decides to stay. Goku understood Vegeta himself entrusting Piccolo with the safety of his family. With the clock ticking and no more ideas left, who would the final member of Universe 7 be? Goku wonders if he should invite Roshi, Tien, Grandpa Gohan, and the others, but he decides to talk to his parents about this first. Bardock actually has a very good idea on who to call, and with Whis' help, the father and son travel to Planet Cereal in the blink of an eye. Goku wasn't sure where they were, but it quickly dawned on him who Bardock was thinking about, as they find Monito and Granola. They quickly explain the situation, and Granola instantly accepts. After all, the fate of the universe is at stake, and besides that, Granola wanted to be free from Bardock's debt for saving his life. After they win the tournament, they'll be even. Bardock smirks, shaking his hand as he promises to honor this deal. Thus, the Universe 7 roster consists of Goku, Gohan, Granola, Bardock, Raditz, Gine, King Vegeta, Tarble, and Android 17. And so everyone on Universe 7's
a bunch
team
of Saiyans
together at Capsule Corp.
Granola and Android 17.
Baby bra and
so 8 Saiyans.
She is adorable and remarks that she
two
misses holding a
stragglers.
baby in her arms, as Bardock gets nervous and instantly reminds her that they have a granddaughter. Gine gets excited and flies over to her. As everyone huddles together, Beerus makes an announcement. Given the circumstances, he believes a team captain is necessary. At first, Bardock suggests King Vegeta, since he did so well in the battles against Majin Buu. However, in a surprising move that no one saw coming, the king refuses. Instead, he suggests Bardock be the captain. Bardock asks if he's sure, and he nods. The king and Bardock had been at odds with each other for many years, but now they've gone from bitter rivals to good friends and allies. King Vegeta leads the Saiyans on Earth, but Bardock should lead Universe 7. However, King Vegeta smirks, as he reminds Bardock that, should he ever prove to show himself unworthy, he'll be more than willing to step up to the role of leader. Bardock snickers, as he and King Vegeta shake hands. With the team set, everyone prepares to go to the tournament grounds. Gine goes up to Bardock and whispers something in his ear that makes him go beet red. Goku wonders what she said, as Gine tells him not to mind it. It was just something to motivate his father. In a way, King Vegeta felt like, once again, he was making up for his sins past. He sees all these warriors, the androids, the humans, the Saiyans. He's made many friends along the way. It was almost as if he had started a new planet Vegeta, except not everyone was a Saiyan. And even if they weren't all Saiyans, they were Saiyans in spirit. But he wonders, there was one Saiyan he betrayed long ago. Maybe if things go well after the tournament, he would have to make amends once more. Beerus puts a hand on King Vegeta's shoulder. Beerus had hoped that the training would have been finished prior to the Tournament of Power, but the king just wasn't there yet. He was powerful and determined, but he was past his prime. Even so, Beerus is proud of how much he had changed. Vegeta and Kakarot were surprised to hear this. They didn't know he had been actively training with Beerus. The king simply pushed his cape off and smirked. It's true that he's been cooking for a while, but the dish
he's been cooking for a while.
Goku and Vegeta watched him walk, knowing that they were ready for the tournament. At the World of Void, Team Universe 7 gauges their opponents, with the
hold on, isn't like... So, okay, I think he said the timeline's kind of off, right? It's not like it's not recent to where. No, because even now, like, still Vegeta and Goku like in their 40s, down their 50, right? So and Vegeta once said Vegeta and Goku was about to reach the peak of their it's a what if story. I'm sorry, the peak of their power. So how the fuck is fucking King Vegeta and Bardock still getting stronger or whatever? They should at least be gray hair by now.
Exception of
Gotta make
Universe
at least
6,
about
most of the teams
60,
don't
70.
seem too impressive until they notice
70
the
years
blazing
old.
heat radiating from Universe 11, Jiren the Grey. King Vegeta asks what Bardock thinks, as the team captain gulps, it being their best interest to avoid him as much as possible. But before Bardock could share this with the rest of the team, Goku was already approaching Jiren and challenging him to a battle. Raditz and Bardock had to drag Goku away as Jiren ignores them. In his eyes, he viewed those Saiyans as weaklings. The Tournament of Power begins, as Gohan asks Bardock what they should do. Bardock smirks.
That's easy. Just don't get knocked off the ring.
Every Saiyan except for Tarbo leaps forward, heading off into multiple directions. Gohan had been one of the first ones to jump in, as in this universe, he takes on a lot after his father. Gohan and Granola group up. They would hold the line and provide support for their teammates if they get into any danger. Universe 9 attempts to surround Goku and eliminate him right from the start. However, they are blasted away by Raditz, as he declares that he won't allow anyone to hurt his little brother. He asks Goku if he likes some help, as he grins. He wouldn't mind a tag team against these guys. One by one, Universe 9 fell. Even their greatest fighters, the Trio of the Dangers,
Universe
were
9
unable
really
to
tried that
resist the
shit. That shit was
combined might
crazy.
of the greatest Saiyan brothers. In nearly an instant, Universe 9 was eliminated. King Vegeta and his sons soon came in contact with the Universe 6 Saiyans. Kaba is honored to meet his master once again, as Caulifla blurts out loud that she wants to challenge them. King Vegeta recognizes the last one, Kale. She had been the Saiyan that tried to steal things from them back in planet Sadala. Maybe it was time to teach her a lesson. She was surprisingly timid. Caulifla yelled at King Vegeta not to talk that way to Kale, as she said that the king in her world was a weak punk. She bets that she could take this king on too. King Vegeta chuckles, amused at the girl's spirit. The royal family obliges as they pick their opponents: King Vegeta versus Caulifla, Vegeta versus Kale, and Tarble versus Kaba. Tarble and Kaba are very respectful to one another, bowing before their fight. The pair notice how similar their moves and even their temperament are. If their circumstances were different, they would have enjoyed chatting with each other rather than fighting. Maybe he can visit planet Sadala too. King Vegeta was pacing himself, impressed with Caulifla's stance and strikes. She was very talented. He wished he had more Saiyans like her in his universe. If he had, then maybe Saiyans wouldn't have fallen to Frieza. Vegeta was having the least amount of fun, annoyed at Kale's amateurish movements. She clearly wasn't very confident in her own power or abilities. King Vegeta orders his sons to take things up a notch, and the three burst into Super Saiyan. Kaba and Caulifla respond in return, bursting with their own golden auras.
Okay.
However, Kale was unable to reach the same state. In fact, she was no longer focused on the battle at all. She just watched Caulifla and King Vegeta's battle. She had never seen Caulifla be this excited before. Why couldn't she make her this happy? Vegeta's annoyance morphed into anger as he yelled at Kale to focus on the fight at hand. Did she think her pathetic fighting style would ever impress her friend? If she can't even become a Super Saiyan, then she stands no chance. Vegeta's words strike a chord with Kale as she clutches her chest. Kale snaps, bulking up and unleashing a truly terrifying power. King Vegeta and Tarble stopped their
Kale and
fight
Broly
to
meet
watch in horror,
in Super,
asking
bro.
himself
That'd be
if
fire.
this was the true legendary Super Saiyan. For some reason, sensing that power and seeing those eyes, he was reminded of a Saiyan child long ago, one he had sent away. As Kale rampages mindlessly, releasing energy blasts that eliminated warriors left and right, she makes contact with King Vegeta, screaming out that it's his fault. Kale charges at the king, who has no choice but to resort to transforming into Super Saiyan Blue simply to stand a chance. Vegeta and Tarble jump into Super Saiyan Blue as well to help their father. The attack of the Saiyans catches the attention of Jiren, who, without much effort, knocks out the rampaging Kale. This scares the rest of the universe's fighters, but only motivates Goku and Vegeta to aim for Jiren himself. Meanwhile, Bardock and Guinea face off against the kamikaze fireballs of Universe 2, led by Ribrianne.
Oh yeah, this
They proclaim
annoying ass
themselves
bitch.
to be the protectors of
That
love
annoying
across the
ass
multiverse.
bitch, boy.
Guinea appreciates their enthusiasm,
Yeah,
but
way too many
Bardock
episodes in
facepalms.
Super.
He thought they were really dumb. Ribrianne is furious at Bardock's comments as she and her teammates lunge at the pair of Saiyans. Universe 2 was impressive, but they couldn't hold a candle to Bardock and Guinea's unparalleled teamwork. They were completely in sync with each other, almost as if they knew what they were thinking. Most of Universe 2 is eliminated, as Ribrianne remains. She's furious, demanding to know how this was possible as Guinea smiles, looking at Bardock warmly.
They're so ugly.
Obvious. It's because he's her husband, and they love each other. It's as simple as that. Bardock blushes, but Ribrianne cocks her head. Love? Really? With that guy? He seems gross and ugly. Bardock gulps nervously, looking over at his wife, as he warns Ribrianne that she should get out of here while she can. Guinea bursts her aura, entering her Super Saiyan Rage state as she roars.
She had to go to Super Saiyan Rage.
Like that. Without much issue, Guinea beats Ribrianne as she's finally knocked off the ring. So, that really was true love. Thus, Universe 2 is eliminated, but Ribrianne tells her that she's rooting for her and her love. Back to the Universe 6 Saiyans, they're struggling against the overwhelming might of the Pride Troopers. It seems like they were about to be knocked out. However, at the last moments, Vegeta shouts, asking Kale if she's really fine with letting things end like this. At the same time, Kaba is struggling against the oppressive force known as Mona from Universe 4, as Kaba fires a Gallic gun to blow away his foe. He realizes that it's not enough. Is this the end of the line for him? That's when Tarble steps up. You can't give up now, Kaba. What happened to your Saiyan spirit, huh? Vegeta and my father showed us what it meant to be Saiyans. We can't let them down. Let's do this together. Tarble jumps in, joining Kaba with his very own Gallic gun. With his
Okay.
encouragement reigniting the passion for their people, Kaba awakens Super Saiyan 2, and together, their virtuous Saiyans defeat Mona, eliminating Universe 4. Kale slowly gains control over Berserker's state, and together with Caulifla, they turn the tides of battle, eliminating most of Universe 11. Vegeta looks on in pride, walking away as King Vegeta and Bardock approach the girls. Turbo walks towards Kaba with a smile. It was time for them to finally witness their Saiyan resolve for themselves. The final battle between the Saiyans is about to begin. Kale with her mastered Super Saiyan and Caulifla with her recently discovered Super Saiyan 2 were a sight to behold, but what was more impressive was their unbreakable bond. King Vegeta and Bardock had to release more power, cycling from Super Saiyan to Super Saiyan 2 and finally Super Saiyan God. Caulifla was stunned, excited at the next level of Super Saiyan, as she and Kale fired a combined attack. King Vegeta and Bardock unleashed their power, combining their Gallic Gun and Riot Javelin together into a single beam that pushed the girl's beam back. Kaba himself was doing much better, with Turbo admitting that he probably couldn't do anything to him if he were to use Super Saiyan 2. However, he had something Kaba didn't, a tail. With his tail, Turbo is able to grab onto Kaba's leg and knock him off balance, giving him an opportunity for one clean punch. The Universe 6 Saiyans are launched into the void, but not before the royal family declares that they will use the Super Dragon Balls to bring them back to life. Kaba, Caulifla, and Kale thank the Saiyans for their battles before they are erased. Elsewhere, Gohan and Granola continue to provide support as much as possible to their teammates. With Granola's impeccable eyesight, he would instruct Gohan where to aim and shoot Ki Blast in order to strike his enemy's most vital points. They were stellar, eliminating opponents left and right. Not even invisible or tiny foes could hide from Granola's eye. 17 was asked to bring up his android barrier, which Granola used to deflect his own Ki Blast, catching countless opponents off guard with impossible yet devastating trick shots which knocked them off of the ring. However, this catches the attention of the enigmatic Hit and the Namekians of Universe 6, forcing the trio into the defensive. Granola was able to predict Hit's time skip moves by seeing the slightest twitches of his body the moment the assassin attempted to move, launching counterattacks before time stop was even activated.
That'd probably be a good fight.
Hit, distracting him for long enough for 17 to charge in with a knee to the face. He would be his opponent now. This gave Gohan and Granola much needed breathing room, which they needed to focus in on the Universe 6 Namekians. With a combined Kamehameha and a precise finger sniper shot, however, 17 wasn't doing nearly as good. Hit's time skip was advancing further and further with every passing second. Yet, no matter how hard he struck a vital point, 17 always stood back up. Hit reveals his ultimate technique, the time cage. 17 was rendered motionless, unable to move. Gohan and Granola tried to save 17, but they weren't able to move past Hit's time stop. Gohan saves Granola from a vital strike, taking the attack as his eyes wide out before getting launched off the ring. While in the moment, without even thinking about his own safety, Granola leaped towards the edge of the ring and grabbed Gohan's arm at the last moment. Hit approaches 17 as he prepares to kick the cyborg off of the ring. However, Hit instead is kicked away by none other than Goku. Glowing in the ethereal glow of Super Saiyan Blue, Goku uses his godly energy
Gohan
to
getting kicked
destroy
up
the
by
time
Hit.
cage as he lifts
Better
up
than the
17,
self-sacrifice.
apologizing for getting here late, but the cyborg merely chuckles. Who would have thought the man he was created to kill would save him like this? 17 and Goku stood back to back, charging towards Hit with their fists outstretched. Hit was already struggling with 17 before. With Goku here now, he didn't stand a chance. In a final dual punch to the gut, Goku and 17 knocked out.
They just made everybody just strong as hell, bro.
Goku gives a thumbs up to 17 and Granola.
Sorry if I'm not talking, I'm very interested in this story.
He asks them to watch Gohan's back as he leaves towards the next battle. 17 smiles as he lifts up Gohan from the ground. Granola mentions that he still can't believe how nonchalant and trusting Goku is of people that tried to kill him before, but 17 shrugs. You'll get used to it. Now hurry up, we have a lot of catching up to do. During an intense battle against Jiren, Goku is able to awaken the mysterious state known as Ultra Instinct, similarly to the original story. However, it wasn't the Spirit Bomb that did it this time. Instead, it was the use of his own father's Riot Javelin, which Jiren bounced back and Goku was consumed by. However, this power wasn't nearly enough, as he was beaten down by the strongest Pride Trooper. Raditz and Gine rescued Goku, protecting him from any incoming threats, while he recovered his stamina. The machines of Universe 3 combined into the gigantic Anilaza. He was a strong foe, but 17 rose up to the challenge, asking for help from his teammates as the Saiyans nod, bursting into the strongest forms and launching themselves at Anilaza, distracting him. The giant was so preoccupied with the group attack that he never noticed someone approaching his foot. Using all of his strength, 17 lifted up the fusion and threw him into the void,
Lift him
eliminating
up.
Universe 3. Now all that remained was Universe 7 and the 3 strongest Pride Troopers of Universe 11. Jiren the Grey, the speedster Dispo, and their leader Topo. The last battle for the fate of the universe is kicked off with a roar from Bardock as he launched a riot javelin straight at Jiren's face. However, the blast is reflected with a simple gaze from the hero's eyes. Universe 7 splits up to divide and conquer. Android 17, Granola and Gohan versus Dispo. King Vegeta, Tarbo, Bardock, Hikine, and Raditz versus Topo. Gohan and Vegeta versus Jiren. Dispo is incredibly fast, as it becomes clear to the Z fighters that the only way to stop him is by restricting his movements. Granola has a plan, requesting 17 and Gohan to buy him time to prepare, as they nod. As 17 and Gohan do their best to occupy Dispo, Granola creates a field of floating key mines scattering across the ring. Then he closes his eyes as he gathers his energy, focusing all of it into his eyes and fingertips. Dispo is beating on Gohan, but he is grappled by 17 and dunked into the ring, creating a massive crater. At that moment, Granola opens his eyes, revealing that both of them have become red. Granola yells out, "Now!" as he fires a charged finger beam. Dispo manages to vibrate his hand and break free from 17's grip. However, instead of missing, the finger beam collides with the key mine Granola left behind. The beam suddenly jerks and changes direction right towards Dispo. Using the minefield of ki as mirrors, Granola was using them to reflect and redirect his finger blast. The rabbit tries to outrun the finger beam as much as he can. However, Dispo failed to realize that he was now being led even deeper into the minefield. With a key minefield all around him and the devastating ki blast reflecting, he was trapped. The finger blast strikes Dispo as he attempts to block it with his hands. Gohan rises up, firing his own riot javelin as it lands squarely on Dispo as he is blasted away, eliminated from the tournament. Meanwhile, Topo does his best to hold off the incoming Saiyan threat. He recognizes the Saiyans
I like a good jump in there.
The King and Bardock recognize that Topo is incredibly powerful. They don't know if they can actually defeat him, even with their Super Saiyan Blue, but they have to try. The Z fighters do their best, but Topo is just too strong. Gohan, 17, and Granola arrive to provide support, with Topo telling them to come at him. However, Topo unleashes more of his power, which cracks the arena
all you
around
Super Saiyan Blues
Tarbo
can do
attempts
nothing
to
against
blast Topo
regular
away,
Topo.
but he is slapped out of Super Saiyan
Alright.
Blue, falling into the abyss. Android 17 was the next to follow, as his barrier cracked under Topo's mighty fist. Granola thinks he has enough energy to try one more finger beam. Super Saiyan Blue, Bardock, and Topo are locked in a grappling contest in an attempt to overpower each other with brute force. Topo commends Bardock for his immense bravery in light of overwhelming odds, but that it's not enough. Topo breaks Bardock's grip and starts crushing
King Vegeta
the
about to
bear
step
hug.
in.
The other Z fighters try to fire their own blast, but Topo tanks them all, unwilling to let Bardock go.
Once you are defeated, the rest shall fall.
However, Bardock refuses to give up. Flashing through various moments of his life, he sees the founding of the dojo, the defeat of Frieza, the birth of Raditz and Kakarot, as he then sees Guinea smile from the moment they first met. With his Saiyan spirit igniting, Bardock undergoes a new transformation, breaking free from Topo as his hair turns into a deeper shade of blue. Bardock has evolved the Super Saiyan Blue state to a new height. Vegeta smirks. Him and Kakarot's old man had always been similar to each other. He burst into Super Saiyan Blue evolution as well. Two Saiyans from different generations and from different families, uniting with this one purpose. This was the power Zamasu feared, the power of the Saiyans evolving the strength of the gods. Bardock rallies his teammates, regrouping as they lead a charge on Topo. While Bardock takes care of Topo, the rest of the team will blast away the ring around them until their foe has nowhere else to run. The plan works, as Topo and Bardock find themselves on the shattered edge of the ring. Topo declares that he cannot be defeated here. He is carrying the burning pride of the Pride Troopers. Bardock retorts by saying that he can't afford to lose either. He has the pride of his family and the entire Saiyan race with him, and he cannot let them down. The two warriors punch each other square in the face, staggering back. No one is sure who will fall first. Topo mumbles, congratulating Bardock on a job well done as the leader of the Pride Troopers falls off the ring. King Vegeta catches Bardock before he falls, commending him for honoring their race. All that remains now is Jiren, but he is easily the strongest foe they had ever faced. Even with Super Saiyan Blue, Goku and Vegeta can no longer push back against the hero, even if he is impressed by the evolved state. The remnants of Universe 7, consisting of Gohan, Granola, Gine, Bardock, Raditz, and King Vegeta, arrive to lend their aid. However, even their max power cannot defeat Jiren the Grey. Out of everyone here, it was Bardock in his newly discovered Super Saiyan Blue evolution that could pierce his defenses alongside Vegeta. But Jiren roars, releasing a massive wave of blazing hot ki around the area. The fighters are blasted back, with Gine, Granola, and Raditz nowhere to be seen.
It was funny because when Jiren showed a little bit of his power, when he actually, like, towards the end of the fight, before it, like, Goku went Ultra Instinct again and shit, the third time, that nigga Jiren did a air fist at that nigga Goku. And that nigga Goku said, boom. And that nigga Goku felt the power of that air fist. He didn't even hit Goku. That nigga Goku dropped out of fucking Super Saiyan Blue and everything. Like, damn, this nigga strong than a motherfucker. That was the funny shit.
From the rubble, Vegeta and King Vegeta stand together, getting into a royal-style battle stance. Using whatever remaining energy they had, despite their excellent teamwork and movements, it was reduced to nothing before Jiren. The Grey Sentinel defeats the father and son duo with a single blast. The Vegetas pass off their remaining energy to their saviors. Goku and Bardock open their eyes, stardust filling the air, as the strongest father and son duo in history rise up once more. Goku in Ultra Instinct Domain, and Bardock in Super Saiyan Blue evolution. Jiren motions for them to come as their final battle resumes. While Goku dodges Jiren's strikes, Bardock attacks. However, Jiren bulks up into his full power mode. He launches a ruthless counterattack, pummeling them with Ki eyes. Jiren finishes the combo by launching a massive ki ball. Bardock alone tries to push back the ball, but his own ki blast can't do anything to repel it. Bardock closes his eyes, ready to accept his fate, but Goku leaps forward, pushing his father away as he's consumed by the blast. As Universe 7 loses hope. Even Bardock feels hopeless, yet Gine appears behind her husband. She yells that Bardock needs to stand back up. If there was anything Bardock had taught her in this life, it's that a Saiyan never gives up until the very end. Raditz and Gohan appear as well, urging Bardock to fight on. Bardock smiles as he gets back on his feet. Despite not having energy to go even Super Saiyan, Bardock retorts that he and his family will never surrender.
Let's win this together.
A galaxy of stars suddenly appear as the ethereal glow, mastered Ultra Instinct Goku, envelops that of the remaining arena. The entire Bardock family stands together before Jiren. Now this was a final battle. Goku rose right before falling from the ring, awakening this new state. Goku's attacks were now really starting to hurt, but more than that, the image of a family standing together despite overwhelming odds hits a chord within the giant's soul. The Pride Troopers speak up, yelling at Jiren to win this for all of them. Jiren was their hero. The Pride Troopers were his family. Feeling renewed vigor and hope, Jiren makes one final stand against the remnants of Universe 7. But it was Raditz that shouted at everyone to dogpile Jiren. They had to capitalize on Jiren's weakened state. It was now or never. Everyone in the family nods. Goku, Bardock, and Gine tackled Jiren, followed by Gohan, then Raditz. They were running on fumes, but the greatest Saiyan family manages to ignite their spirits, flickering into Super Saiyan one final time. Jiren was unable to overcome the burning resolve of this family, merely muttering that this must be the power of trust, as the Saiyans tackle him off of the ring. From one floating piece of debris, Granola came out of hiding. Granola was granted the title of MVP by the Grand Priest, who then asked him what he wanted to wish for with the Dragon Balls. Granola was quiet for a moment, his head racing with thoughts. This was his moment, his one and only chance to not only revive his mother, but the rest of the Cerealians as well. But then he thought of Goku, Bardock, and everyone else. He remembered Bardock's promise, and he smiled. Without skipping a beat, Granola wished for all other universes to be restored. And just like that, life returned to the multiverse. Bardock smiled as Granola approached his team. He had kept this promise. Now they would be even. The Universe 6 Saiyans approached the Universe 7 ones, telling them just how excited they were to fight them again. Perhaps
what the fuck? That didn't even happen in the story, nigga.
King Vegeta spoke
Smugstick, what you doing?
that they're welcome to Earth anytime. That's where the Saiyans of Universe 7 live. That's their home world. Team Universe 7 returned. Guinea smiled happily as she whispered to Bardock that it was time for his reward. But as it turns out, what Guinea had promised was an enormous feast. Everyone from Universe 7 and their friends from across the world and the universe come to eat together.
What the
After
fuck?
the party, King Vegeta approached
Oh, that's that one
just
thing.
as he
Okay,
was
never
getting
mind.
ready to go. King Vegeta asked Bardock if he remembers what they did a few years back, going around the universe and saving planets from the Frieza rule. There was one planet he wanted to visit that he didn't get to during that time.
A long time ago, there was a young Saiyan I was afraid of. Fighting the Universe 6 Saiyans, I was reminded of her. That Kale girl. The look in her eyes looked familiar. I realize now, there is one more Saiyan of our generation that may still be around, with his own son. Tell me, Bardock, do you remember Paragus? I'm sure it's too late to make amends, but if there's a chance, we can expand our family and continue giving the Saiyan race one more chance. Will you come with me to search for that boy?
He wasn't sure. It was ridiculous. Surely that Broly kid and Paragus would be dead by now, but if there was any chance any Saiyans remained, then he would take it. It was clear through King Vegeta's eyes that this was the final sin he was ashamed of. Bardock nodded at King Vegeta as he turned to Guinea and told her that he'd be back, that he has one more adventure. But not before Raditz, Goku, Vegeta, and told him to wait. They were coming along too. They were speaking relatively loud. If King Vegeta was afraid of him, then surely this guy must be crazy strong. King Vegeta couldn't help but smile. The Saiyan Kingdom remained, and soon enough, they would add a new member. King Vegeta, Bardock, Raditz, and Goku all travel together to planet Vampa. Vegeta doubts they'll even still be alive. They land and use a new Capsule Corp scouter to try and detect the power level of the people. They just find a giant green creature.
They can rekey.
Vegeta is startled by it, shooting one of them to make it go away. But this was a mistake. Suddenly, the scouter begins to beep rapidly. Something is incoming. The king is slammed into a wall by a powerful punch. Vegeta curses and instantly jumps into Super Saiyan, rushing towards the assailant. Vegeta begins battling Broly, as Paragus runs out of the cave to see what's going on, and he can't believe his eyes. The king? He looks around. More Saiyans. Why had they come here? It was the perfect time for revenge, but Broly continued to fight the prince. With Bardock and Goku joining in, Broly is brought down to his knees, but begins to explode more and more in power until finally the king speaks up.
Enough. That's him. He is the boy we came looking for.
Broly continues to huff and puff, but the king takes slow steps towards him.
Broly, right? I do not mean to disturb you. I've come here looking for your father.
Broly's eyes were full of rage, ready to snap at any moment, but Paragus stands up.
You have guts showing your face after what you did to us, King. Explain yourself before I allow him to kill you.
What the hell did you do to him?
We were afraid of his power, of what it represented. No Saiyan was meant to be stronger than Vegeta. I was a fool, and cast him away. I see now that Broly could have helped us defeat Frieza.
Paragus is insulted still, so he just thinks of Broly as a useful tool? King Vegeta denied this. That's why they have come here. King Vegeta knew there was a possibility that these two Saiyans were still alive. All he wanted now was to offer them a place to live. What few Saiyans remain now live on Earth, with new families, training daily. Paragus was in disbelief. He thinks about it. A chance to live a real life. A chance to give Broly a future. That could be a great chance. Bardock then pulled out a capsule full of tables of food. Delicious food from Guinea. This made Paragus and Broly's stomach growl. Reluctantly, Paragus agreed. They had a small feast, leaving nearly nothing left. However, Guinea also packed a lot of extra food, knowing so many Saiyans would be there. Paragus and Broly enjoyed it a lot, though Broly ate less than the others, as he was not used to food that was actually seasoned and cooked well. It was just weird to him. Through the meal, Bardock and the king explained much about their adventures, and Broly was mesmerized. Planet Vegeta blowing up, the training on Earth, and the fight against Frieza, gods of destruction, it seemed so fantastical. Paragus didn't believe any of it. With just a little bit of dessert left, Bardock packed away the capsule full of food. On the way to the ship, Kakarot, Raditz, and Vegeta all talked to Broly, who was very awkward but nice. Too nice. Vegeta wasn't even sure if he was really a Saiyan. Raditz teased him a little bit, telling him that maybe they could have an exhibition match to entertain the people of Earth. Paragus was quiet, and though the king attempted to talk to him, all he would respond with was cold glares. Bardock, on the other hand, was just insulted. Why did Bardock get to survive while Paragus lived in squalor? As they entered the ship and took off, Paragus began with his plan. As the Saiyans settled down in the ship, Paragus whispered to Broly to attack. Broly was confused. They were saving them. But Paragus insisted, and Broly cared nothing more than about his father. In an instant, while Bardock and the others were off guard, Broly burst forward, grabbing Vegeta and Goku by the face and slamming them into a wall. King Vegeta asked what the hell was going on, but Paragus responded by firing multiple blasts. The King and Bardock easily avoided them, and Raditz snapped forward, punching Paragus in the gut. Broly saw this as Goku and Vegeta struggled to get out of his grasp, and they were both
on the ship though. This is
Raditz.
Stupid. Paragus,
reeling in pain, realized that perhaps this wasn't the greatest idea. He didn't know the length of their power, and just assumed that Broly could take them on easily. The ship was still in the planet's atmosphere, with Goku and the others avoiding Broly as much as they could, but Broly's anger continued to rise further and further, firing a giant blast at Goku that sent him through the spaceship wall. The ship began to break apart, falling quickly down to the planet as Goku finally burst into Super Saiyan God alongside Vegeta, with Broly following them out of the ship. Inside, Bardock tried to pilot the ship, but it was clear that there was little they could do. Without an option, King Vegeta grabbed onto Paragus and rushed out of there, followed by Bardock and Raditz. The spaceship exploded as it crashed down, while Goku, Vegeta, and Broly continued to battle. Paragus slapped King Vegeta's hand away as they landed. Now they were stuck there. What could they do? If they were doomed to stay on this planet, then at least they will kill them first. Paragus encouraged Broly to keep fighting, that they were doomed either way. Bardock grabbed Paragus by the collar and shook him, calling him a moron.
Dumbass
they were
nigga.
saving them. Was revenge really worth their lives? Paragus spat at the ground. He wanted to leave, yes, but he couldn't forgive the king. Bardock was angry, way too angry, and punched Paragus across the face, instantly knocking him out. Bardock yelled at Goku and Vegeta, telling them that they need to figure out a way to get home and to stop playing with Broly. But as he said this, Broly's attention was drawn to his father. In an instant, Broly felt his heart sink. He thought these people were trying to help them, but perhaps his father was right. Was he dead? His father was his only responsibility.
Nigga Broly, old simple-minded ass nigga.
Broly exploded in deep rage, unleashing Super Saiyan. This surprised Goku and Vegeta, who weren't sure why this was happening. They realized that Broly couldn't sense ki, and didn't know his father was still alive. They tried to tell him this, but there was no way to convince him. Without much of a choice, Raditz burst into Super Saiyan Blue and joined the battle. The planet began to shake as Bardock and the King discussed options, but they couldn't think of anything to get them out of there. If only there was a way to communicate with Whis. That's when Bardock got an idea. He clicked open the capsule with some food left and lifted one of them up, calling out for Beerus and Whis. They continued to try over and over again until finally Whis answered the call. He always had a bit of an eye out for the Saiyans. Beerus wasn't thrilled about having to help them get to Earth, but seeing the fight in the background interested him. The gods agreed to help them out, but it would take around 30 minutes. Bardock cursed. They would need to distract Broly and try to wake up Paragus in the meantime. Broly's power was incredible, and it created shockwaves through the planet. Raditz was starting to struggle little by little. A rogue blast from Broly's mouth took him down to the ground as the monster Saiyan followed him, with Vegeta and Goku trying to get him off of him. Bardock burst forward to help, kicking Broly in the face and finally pushing him away as the King appeared above to fire a royal blast. Broly was proving to be too much of a problem, even with all the Saiyans helping. Raditz was far too hurt. Even Goku and Vegeta were starting to tire out. The King and Bardock continued to fight alongside their sons, as Broly broke out of his armor and began to show even more incredible power. Reality seemed to start to break apart. All of the Saiyans were left broken and battered, as Broly rose above, the planet shaking and threatening to explode. They had nothing left they could do. Paragus slowly began to come back to consciousness, his vision unblurring little by little, only to fight his son. No, not a monster, but a devil. He quickly reached for the remote and pressed the button down, only for the electricity to not only not affect Broly, but to also realize that Broly's collar had exploded a long time ago. They were doomed. Paragus didn't know what to do, as his son continued to gather more and more power. The Saiyans mustered their last bit of strength to stand up to him, but Paragus ran in front of them, his arms spread wide open.
Broly, listen to me. That's enough. If you destroy the planet, you'll kill us too. I'm alive, don't you see?
Broly was inconsolable, however. And with one final roar, he fired a blast from his mouth. Paragus was terrified, afraid of his own son. They all gasped, but Paragus' death did not arrive. Instead, he opened his eyes to see King Vegeta attempting to push back the blast. It was proving to be too much, as the others began to fire their own attacks at Broly. Vegeta told his father to get out of there, but his father continued to push back. He trembled in and out of Super Saiyan Blue as he whispered to his son,
"There is more to our power, more we can achieve.
King Vegeta's aura blinked slowly into a purple one, his hair shining the same color for what it seemed to be just a few moments. Broly's blast began to be pushed back and back until Broly was finally consumed by his own attack. It took the strength of all of the Saiyans there, but at least they were still alive. Broly was knocked into a mountain, and it seemed like he too was nearly out for the count. Bardock and the others looked at the king, amazed at what looked to be a new form, only for the king
Ultra
to fall
Ego.
back and onto Paragus. Paragus caught him and laid him down, with Vegeta running to his side. Bardock and his sons continued towards Broly, fighting back. King Vegeta's ki was fading away. Paragus asked him why he did that. He could have just let him die. Vegeta swore to defeat Broly, but King Vegeta spoke up.
Enough Saiyan blood has been shed. I came here to save our people, not to kill more of them. My son, save them.
Paragus was left speechless, while Vegeta simply looked at his father as he passed away. Vegeta didn't say a word as he stood up, looking up at Bardock,
shit.
Kakarot, and Raditz fighting Broly. His blue
Damn,
aura
King
enveloped
Vegeta.
him one last time. Vegeta joined the other Saiyans as finally from behind a flash of light appeared. Beerus and Whis. They were perplexed to see the king dead, but amazed at the power displayed by all involved. Paragus realized then that he really was in the presence of deities. The stories the king told were in fact true. Vegeta told the others to follow his lead. They rushed at Broly all together. Vegeta in the middle, Kakarot on the left, Raditz on the right, and Bardock behind them. Bardock swung a half-moon ki blast that caught Broly against the rock formation, giving the other three a chance to zoom forward. Fist pulled back and full of whatever little power they had left. The roar of an Ozaru was heard. To Broly, it even seemed like the great ape's mouth was about to devour him as the three punches crossed, bursting into starlight. Broly was finally blown away. His body fell from the sky above and to the ground as Vegeta caught him and landed him by his father. Broly opened his eyes to see Paragus holding him. Father?
You don't have to keep fighting, Broly. We will be safe. I'm sorry.
Broly's eyes then shifted to Beerus, who smirked. If that power could be controlled, he would be something special. Vegeta stood before his father's body as Kakarot placed a hand on his shoulder.
He showed you something before he died, didn't he? A power he had been working on for a while. He wanted to use it in a fight against you, Prince. One last fight.
Vegeta turned to Beerus. So there really was something beyond. Beerus had been training with the king to do that. One last hurrah for the old king. Vegeta looked up.
Ugly
to the
ass
sky.
smirk.
It's time to return home. Paragus, Broly, you're coming with us. We will find you a place to stay.
Paragus was afraid of the prince. Why was he not trying to kill them? Was he really trying to honor his father's final wish? Indeed, he was. Whis and Beerus would then take the Saiyans home. Their families grieved at the king's passing, but Vegeta was surprisingly calm. Paragus and Broly moved into a house close to Capsule Corp, though Broly would spend most of his time with Beerus and Whis. Once they all settled and their families were together, with Guine, Gohan, Goten, Trunks, Piccolo, Tarble, and the others, they heard a voice.
Glad to see you are all well.
Father!
I am in other world, my friends. There is many strange beings here, including someone known as King Kai, a lesser god than Kaioshin, but with some interesting abilities.
We can gather the Dragon Balls and...
I have already been brought back once before. My time has passed, but that is okay. Earth has been a welcoming home, but I am afraid I have cheated death far too many times.
Everyone stayed quiet and sad, but not Bardock. He understood.
But remember, there are other Dragon Balls out there. I won't be away forever. Help Broly and Paragus. Ensure the Saiyan spirits will live on. I leave it to you, King Vegeta.
Father! The king's voice faded and left them with a hopeful spirit for the future. They all
I'm
turned
making a
to
nigga
look at
cry.
Vegeta, who simply smiled.
Alright, the
He
cake.
wasn't the sentimental type. So instead, he just looked at Raditz, Broly, Kakarot, and Tarble. He cracked his knuckles and burst out of there. The others followed. As Goten and Trunks cheered them on, Bardock crossed his arms. The king and Bardock knew their time was up for quite a while now, so he would just have to enjoy the time he did have. He placed his arm around Guine, knowing that their kids were onto further adventures, further heights. This is where our story leaves off, until 100 years later. We see a tournament arena
Alright.
surrounded by statues. Saiyans, humans, Namekians even, warriors of old, all related to the adventures the Saiyan family had. In the middle stood Bardock and King Vegeta, statues shining under the sunlight. In the middle of the arena clashed their descendants, showing off their Super Saiyan prowess.
Goku Jr.,
We zoom
Vegeta
out
Jr.
to see people from all over the universe, warriors seeking out further strength. This is a whole planet, New Planet Vegeta, founded by the last king of the Saiyans. A safe haven for anyone across the universe seeking the thrill of battle. A new home not just for Saiyans, but for everyone. Vegeta had kept his promise. The Saiyan spirit lives on. The end.
So my thing is, how much Saiyan blood do them niggas got? The Goku Jr. and Vegeta Jr. Like, cause if Pan was Goku Jr.'s grandma, right, or great grandma, Pan only a third Saiyan. So that nigga like what, 1/5, 1/6 Saiyan? I don't know. Is that Saiyan blood that strong? Damn. All right. Anyway, shout out to Smugstick for this story. This is a great story, man, with the Saiyan family and everything, man. Let me know what y'all want me to watch next. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Check out the last chapter right here. Check out another story right here. And I'll catch you next time. Peace.